Thank you very much. Good afternoon, good evening. I came here as I promised, literally doing tour of all the foundation teachings, workshops, and everything. Clarify a lot of things about what we announced. It is a radical change, and many of you will, in a way, enter unknown zone. You enter something which you do not know what will be. It's like a time of a birth, as I call it. Would the birth happen? And what will be born? What will be the outcome? We strive to open that and get rid of the fears. As we saw with the bird, how would we change? How would we perform? Do all these birds manage to change color? Or we never watched that some of them lose the power of the change and stay permanently in the last time they changed? What happened when this bird dies? What's the last color is taken in the dimension of physicality? These are not anymore one day will be answered. That day has come. We have to answer. We have built the systems and we have to take that step, that giant leap to know the unknown. We were hoping to go to space with a rocket, and we hear maybe 6 out of 7 billion managed to get to space and go into the space lab, and you have to pass every test, and half of the tests are race related, and we have to have one Jew this time, an Arab guy hasn't been there, we have to get in, and the rest of it. This time is us. That time has come. And the reality is we have to be there. One of your knowledge seekers who we tested the system with about 2 years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago, sat with his mother and father, both dead, to resolve a matter that he could not resolve with them. As he explains, they were sitting as we see them in a normal condition, and he was talking to them and they were talking back, where the problem was, whatever he went through. So, it's not that we are going to start something that might be another bracket science. We are opening the knowledge of the universe. And as he says, when he was sitting there, he could see himself in the dimension of physicality. He was aware of the position and time and the space with the mother and the father. He could not speak to his father during their lifetime as such. Now he could. We have seen with one of our knowledge seekers how the sequence of the change comes. And as I said to one of the first 10 people who are coming in on Monday, you are part of the research team. Come in and tell us how you see and what needs to be done. And what is the change? Do you see the change? There's something which we have not explained fully. I think has been a misunderstanding in the teachings of yesterday, is that we are not looking for 10 people. We are looking for all of you. Every day, 10 people will be going in through the system. Every time we open the Space Lab. And one of the problems which we have to overcome, we look at, if I go to Linz, I have to buy air ticket, I have to do this, I have to do that, and I have to do that. And it goes back to what we said all the time. Our job is to give. Maybe you're too expensive to come to Linz and everything else must be $5,000 or $10,000. But you can sponsor an American, you can sponsor a Nigerian, you can sponsor an Arab guy to go in. Because everything doesn't have to be me. And this is something we're trying to bring across. If it's you who wants to experience it, you're welcome. But as one of the knowledge seekers says, if we can find a sponsor, we need to collect the data on all races. On all races of the man. And in a coming time, we'll go through animal kingdom, a fish, a cat. And we have developed a very elaborate system in replicating a lot of things. We have never shown this system and we don't allow it to be photographed. There are reasons for it. You will not release this technology into public. It's a knowledge never been released, never been shown. And we will not allow it to be known for a time being, because we have to understand the limitations, the work, the principle of the work. Come to Linz, because we are openly inviting you. Or appoint someone to come to take place to add to the knowledge. We increase the numbers to about 50 a day in the next month or so. Because the more data we collect, the more we understand, the more we see, the better we come in what you call it, putting the flight system in its final phase, and see who has traveled as well, who has come back, what they have brought back. Don't forget, we produce gold and other materials in the lab in Linz some years ago. We have developed technology now that we can convert anything which comes in the system. Try not to be selfish that if I cannot go, no, I don't want to do, appoint someone. If you can get in, you get in, but we need to build the numbers quite rapidly. And if we put the numbers together rapidly, we will be out of hand of the governments. The governments have not got hold of what is about to hit them. The implication and application of this technology is beyond imagination. We can put you into the office of a president, sitting face to face, asking for world peace. Putting a number of these machines in one room, we can deliver soldiers or saviors or rescue people in a given dimension and position. The implication of this technology now, which we have opened, stretches beyond anything man could imagine up to now. I was talking to a knowledge seeker, and you will hear this quite a lot in the coming time, and we spoke about it before. Past few days, and I was explaining to him that we put the cup and we put gases around it, and we put an orange and we take the taste of the orange. How does that taste come in? What happens if we change the salinity of the gases we put around the replication unit or different composition? Would that orange in the water will taste the same? But fundamentally, why do we taste that orange? One thing which most probably you have missed in the gathering of the knowledge is that you remember when you put two metals, when you produce gases, you produce the amino acid on the top layer. Do you remember when we asked you to create gases of gases? That you put gases and you could produce some of your gases, you still reproduced that amino acid on the top. You look for the taste of the orange in the water, and look for the taste of orange in that invisible amino acid layer on the top. If your mustache gets on the way of the water before you drink it, you will not taste orange in the water. Because you've taken amino acid out. You've taken the fields away. Or if the amino acid is in the process of being sunk into the bottom of the cup, you might just pick up a taste, part of the taste, part of the emotion. Now, I open your Pandora box, and most probably in the other teachings we opened it. So, Earth is that orange. And one planet has the combination of the gases to replicate the gases of the life of the dog. Another planet has the replication capability of a tree, one of the trees, or a shrub, or part of it, and then it develops itself. Another point in the universe, that orange, the Earth, can replicate, create condition of the creation of man. Then the question which all of you have to answer or understand is, Earth has been an ocean of water, composition of elements within it, and totality of every combination within bandwidth strength of a given strength of life. So what does this mean? Does it mean that having the guns of the oceans of the earth billions of years, has man been the cup or Earth has been the cup, and the man is a taste of that orange from another dimension, which is replicated here. But because we have a diversity of the strength and composition of the materials of the ocean, as the dog has come from another dimension, and the tree from somewhere else in the universe. And is it why Earth has such a big diversity of life? Because its ocean have a diversity in gas production or field production that allows us to bring all the marvels of the universe to be replicated on this planet through the works of our oceans, through the work of our swamps, through the work of dynamic fields which clouds create above us. If you understand this, it becomes very simple how the reactors in the enhancement units work. If the dimension and fields of the replication of you exist on the moon, you will land on the moon. And if the dimension of the fields of another planetary system or another star exists that you can match to it, you will land in that place. But it's like what we call the jumping band. When you jump, you know you're going for a free fall, but you don't know how far deep you go. But the bungee jump road brings you back up to Earth, to the pole or to the bridge you locked yourself into. That pole, that bridge, you put your jumping rope on and you did the jump, is your physicality sitting in that machine. And if in any position you can create a condition because of your life physical dimension with the gravity of the Earth, you can lift that machine out of its place to the destination and the position at where you want to be. These machines are set both ways, gravitational, magnetical, both for the physical dimension and for the soul. We want to see which one of you or which person who goes in will be able to do which one. The machines are marked on the floor. We know if it moves. We expect it to move. But the only thing we cannot do, we cannot shackle it to the ground. Because the field of strength is in the, what we call cosmic strength, and it doesn't make any difference. The machine is gone. But because you have a connection to Earth, we know you come back. We will see the process of the evolution as we prepare the plasma nodes, I call them the motions, getting ready to go in. On Thursday, we'll announce, and we announce it now, that most of the sessions will be live broadcast across the planet. We all watch the first people going into the systems. Would we see any effect? Would we change? 9 out of 10 will not feel any difference, or 9 out of the 10 feel totally emotionally going through the system and see the changes. Would we take that dive? And would, for example, one of our people, the first numbers going in, will take the system and land up in God knows the country, and his house says, what's this machine doing in my bedroom? Because he wanted to go home. Or we have to see, we are prepared to lose a number of vehicles. We have already, we are in mass production, and we are prepared to lose. And we are prepared to receive back. It's an open-ended technology. We have already people who have conditions who are coming in to see if the condition changes. We have people who booked in to come in as family. We want to know if any of you had a wish, you loved another color being and you always wanted to be black, white or whatever, and would you change that color? And the end of it is what changes from June the 6th will bring to the knowledge of man. If we can feed you and you don't feel hungry for months to come, because we have triggered the absorption limits of your body that you take from the universe, you take from the space and time. Some of you might eat 3 times and 10 times more because now you always wanted to be size 60 and you're size 20 and you don't like it, you're all bone and skin. And how many of you will go through a transition? I wanted a blue eye. My mom gave me a brown eye. And you come out of the system and you have a blue eyes for the rest of your life. Or some of you don't feel anything at all. We try to explain what is to come. It's a huge change. We know number of governments since yesterday have started making rules to find the limitation, the application and implication of this. What happens if one of the members of Universal Council comes into the machine and wishes to sit with the soul of one of the world leaders and change, elevate that soul and bring the change? What about if some of you go in and decide, so beautiful that I don't want to return back to my physicality? Or I take the physicality with me. What is the fear of detachment from all of you who go into that system? This is a new knowledge. Is collection of all the things which we have taught over 30, 40 years. And I hope most of you have booked your way to go in. We have Americans who are flying in, I've been told. We have people from different parts of Europe are walking in. We have people from different style of life are coming in to see if they can be that Mr. Armstrong, the first to break through the science and knowledge. And if they can break through science and knowledge, if one time is not enough for them to go for the next ones. One of the leading Keshe Foundation researchers is going in to see what it is, what needs to be done to be part of the whole structure to change if we need. When you come back in the dimension of the soul and physicality, we put you into what are called the compression plasma systems, which you go back as we explained 3, 2, 1, that you get ready for a physical life. How many of you will prefer to stay in the state of the soul and control the dimension of physicality? We brought a knowledge beyond, far beyond what man could understand up to now and understood up to now. We were asked if you have a seat for two. What about if you go in and you come back with two? Would that seat be taken? So it goes back to the point of how fast most of the knowledge around the world can get in, or if you cannot get in, put somebody to get in, that we can complete this process. We give you a list of names of people who volunteer to be here, but they can't, or they like to have a black or African or a Asian or a Chinese to go through the system. We need a full spectrum. We don't need all Americans because they have money to come in. We don't want all one lot because they could afford it. We take 10 per day because we want to understand it. It's not just a fun fair to go in and come out and goodbye. I'll be there personally, going through case by case, what happened, what it is, what you felt. I was there case by case when we build the systems. We will live broadcast the system. And how many people around the world will rush to be there because the first one came out, said something, and they want to be part of it. Or we pass the enthusiasm and sit and think and do the proper job from the beginning. When you look at this bird, is, as I said, as we saw with Corona, people change to black and the rest. How many of you go in the machine and come out different color, different shape? Because use is how you want it, and your soul is satisfying your soul of physicality. Or nothing happens. As I said, I taught for years, and now this is the ultimate position, that you always answer a machine. We prepared you step by step, the enhancement unit, the vertical unit, and we didn't let any of you to go in because we kept on developing. Now is a collection of the body enhancement unit, material enhancement unit, vertical enhancement unit, horizontal enhancement unit. All that knowledge is in one machine. You wanted enhancement units for your cancer. You wanted the material enhancement unit to make gold and see how many of you will come back with a handful of gold. You wanted the vertical unit to transmute and transport. You wanted the Horizontal unit to extend part of your length of whatever, and you wanted a vision unit to see how much you can affect or change the dimension of the vision of the man. All has been put into one unit. And all will be brought into that understanding of the unit, how it will work. How many of you will become a better man going inside when you come out? How many of you become detached? How many of you will increase the dimension of understanding of the languages of the world? You speak 20 languages when you come out. We don't know. It's you who's the captain, and we're there just providing what I call the flight unit. And I invite you to join in. I came here to deliver this, and now I have delivered. There'll be more extension to it. Why do you want to fly? The physicality, when you can send the soul and then add the physicality to it. You're in the machine 1 second, and then you call mom and dad from New York, says, Mom, I'm in New York with my brother. How did you get there in a few seconds? You left home today? I can come back. In a way, whatever I've taught you over years, now is delivered. The maglev units, the enhancement units, the marvel of the Ganses, the marvel of the cosmic rays, and understanding of the space motion. And I hope you'll enjoy the trip. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer. But from now on, it's the questions you have to answer for yourself.
Hi, Mr. Keshe. I have a question about qualifications. I had cataract surgery and I had the silicon acrylic lenses put in my eyes. Would that keep me from going into the machine?
The only thing we suggest is people with metal parts, hip replacements, if your, what I call, the skeleton has been in any shape or form tied up with metals or plates in the back, if you have valves, if you have, we have not seen any effect on dental dentures or implants. And we have excluded that because it's part of not being in the process. We still learn what they might do. If you're going to get a toothache, if you come out, or you have a new tooth grown, we watch everything. But we are a space technology development. We are mainly interested in transportation and transmutation. And what happened in that process we do is for you to tell us. We're not here to cure you from diseases. We are here to create a new space development, and that's a consequence of what happens in between is what you come in for. And we will live broadcast on the 6th. As you know, the television station center of the Keshe Foundation is Indian, so all the equipment for recording and transmission, all the cameras and the lights, everything is there. And we see what we can report, we see what we can put on live, we see if people will allow us to show while they go through the emotion of the system, because I've seen it. The number of knowledge seekers who has sat in the system and within seconds they have felt the change. Most probably on camera we watch you. Most probably the only part which will not record or allowed to be recorded is when you enter into the machines. That's what I call the place where you have to be left on your own with yourself. There are two units in, and units are set in different ways. You want to know which one's more in line with which of the races, which of the conditions, which wishes, and which whatever. There's a number of questionnaires given to you before and after. This is the responsibility and knowledge seekers to bring that change, because the implication of it is huge. And no organization has ever had the knowledge to do it. We have it, we worked on it, all of you have built pieces of it. Any other question?
Good evening, sir. This is Galip from Holland. Hello to everyone as well. I hope you can hear me well.
We always that shows well. Yes, Carrie.
I have a few things wondering, but of course, as you say, I shouldn't ask everything. My soul knows it. But one very physical thing is that for some reason, I cannot get any emails from the store at this moment. So
why?
When I have ordered 3 tickets, but I don't know if I get chosen.
Wait,
or
is it you, your brother and sister?
Yeah, one is my real sister, like my family sister, and one is my close friend. And
I was told about you coming in. We don't answer anything till Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. I know. No, yes, I know. I was just saying that I cannot sign in, so that's why.
What do you mean you cannot sign in?
Well, at the day when I was trying to get the tickets, my password didn't work, so that's probably my mistake. But then I made a new account and I know the password, and I cannot sign in.
Well, it doesn't need an account. It's a straightforward purchase.
Okay, that
The only thing is if you made a purchase and there's an email sent, there's a link there. Just fill in the form.
Yeah, I didn't get any email. That's the thing.
What do you mean? Send email or receive email from us?
I cannot receive from you. So I say forgotten password.
Nothing has been sent. Nothing will be done till Monday, Tuesday.
Yes, the reason why I say this, but maybe I'm just being too paranoid, but because I know I have an account with these emails because I have ordered in the past, I've gotten emails in the past, but now I click on forgotten password and nothing
It
happens.
shouldn't
So
be. I'll check immediately with the webmasters, with what we call IT people. It
thank
should
you. I
be
don't want to bother you,
straightforward.
but
No, it's good for you to tell us. There should be no reason for you not to send, because most of the payment comes through systems. We don't see who's the sender.
yes,
We need to see it, but in the store it gets done. I'll ask the, what do you call it, the IT people how it works, because it's not something I'm involved in. I don't understand it. But
thank you.
I'm sure you'll get the response back.
Yes, yes.
If you have made the payment, then the team is very, very active. I know about, because I was looking for, I asked this morning from the team, they said there is a booking form 3, because we were looking for brothers and sisters. We're trying to bring different combinations on the first day, if you understand what I mean.
Yes,
Husband and
yes,
wives,
yeah,
father and son, and that kind of thing.
yes,
And I was told we're looking at the structure, how it works. We are allocating in a way that all 10 don't go together. You go at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, that we can follow the process, the first people. And then we go through the next one. There's a preparation, there is a uh, going through the flight system, and then what I call plasmodic condition to put back in the reversal.
yes,
And, we will inform you what time is your time. We don't want people there on top of things, especially the first day, until we hand over to our people who will, what do you call it, monitor the whole work. Data you bring back for us after going through the process, from the first time you sit in the chair, number 1, till you sit back on the other side on chair number 1, we want to know the whole process.
yes,
How you felt, how you did, what interaction you see, did you feel anything? Where we need to bring changes in, what adjustments is needed to be made for which races and what condition. And we are preparing everything for it to be done in a very elaborate way. But you will see the first, and then in the second day, we are putting 2 people through the system at a time. The first day is 1 person at a time through the system. Second day, we are putting 2 different people at the same time in a reverse position, to see what happened when we have 2 crafts, because there are literally 2 crafts next to each other. How do they interact? How can we create separation? How do we see the interactions? And then gradually we put 2 and 2 people at a time by the end of the week, which means we get 4 people into the system. 4 people that don't know each other, 4 people are related to each other, to see how well we have established the process of the control, that only one becomes the captain and the rest of it.
Mr. Keshe, hi, Galib, if you go to the store, you don't need to sign in. There must be something you're doing wrong, because I just went in there, you just add whatever you want, and then you check out. Because I can sign in, but I went and I did it without signing in. You go to the shop, and then you go to the program, you just click on it, and you put how many sessions you want, and you go to check out. And you say, I agree with all the information, and just go to.
yeah. Well, if at this point the people and the beautiful people, the knowledge seekers, have known about me, then I don't want to pollute the system. So I don't think there is a need to do it again. And
we'll
as
check.
for
I'll get the IT people to come back to you tonight.
thank you so much.
Okay, I'll
And
get my IT people, because we are monitoring how the applications are coming in, and We choosing the first 10 that fits into what we want, and then every day we'll take 10 people in the first week. Second week we take 20 people a day. And
Mr. Keshe, it still is the 30 minutes if you increase the number?
yes, we've done this in China. We know exactly how it works.
I was wondering one more thing, if I may.
Let me explain something to you.
Sure.
We are adding 2 units every 2 weeks or so into the structure. And we have access to facility to increase to 1,000 units within the same building. You've been to Lynn Center, you've seen it. We can extend into the whole of the shopping center, adding 2 and 3 numbers into the whole structure. And Keshe Foundation has built a manufacturing production line. We have assembly and production line. We know how many units per week or per month at the moment we can put out.
Mr. Keshe, do we decide if I want to go and sit alone or I want to go with somebody else, or you decide?
You decide. We have at the moment 2-seater.
Because you said you want to test the 4 people, so if 4 people don't agree to go in together, so it's going to be an issue.
We leave it. No, we have people like the gentleman just spoke, booking in with the sisters or a father and mother and a child. Everybody's booking their own way. You have to be over 18. We don't allow anybody under 18. And
why is that, Mr. Keshe?
it's legal consent. And we just do the things the way it's got to be done.
But if the parents wanted the children to come in, you won't allow it?
No, we cannot. It's a legality. No. For the time being.
Mr. Keshe, I have another problem. I need to get a hold of someone in IT because I'm having a hard time making payments or receiving credit for payments on the store website.
I'll ask them to, let me just, I've got the keys up. Just 1 second. I have to make a note. You cannot make or?
The options that are given don't accommodate my needs.
What is your need?
Well, it says PayPal or bank transfer, okay?
Yeah.
I want to make a bank transfer and it's a wire transfer. And there's no information given as to where
For
to
the wire?
transfer to. Yeah, yes. I actually sent the money now to a previous address that Klaus gave me.
Which
but
is
I have now no way of connecting that now to my order.
we'll look into it. We'll look into it immediately, no problem.
It's happened several times, and I was just thinking if the system was streamlined, then it would work every time and I wouldn't have to bother someone about it.
No, we have different banking and payment systems. Some people are still paying directly to the foundation in Holland, but we transfer the funds and we allocate it. Some people are still going to the old PayPal of the Keshe Foundation. We still do the transfer of it. We look at it. If you made a payment, I'll check it straight away. I'll pass it on after this to IT, because after this I'm going to the Brazilian teaching.
Yeah, because before it took months before anything happened, and repeated phone calls to Klaus, and I don't really want to bother him.
No, if you made the payment, we had a very big problem for 3-4 years to streamline the Keshe Foundation internally. Now it's totally streamlined. As much as we have managed, we brought a lot of things in, and thanks to the Iranian team, they brought us a lot of support with the IT. We're working there. Some help we need, we get from them. We have a very good structure now in Linz. Before we used to wait for, nobody knew where the orders go and things used to get lost everywhere between China and everywhere else. Now everything goes through Austria. We have a dispatch section with people working in there full time, a number of people, and we have solved most of the problem. Unless there is something in product range, what do you call?
See, it's a website issue. Like in the website, it says to report that you have paid, go to a certain thing, to your personal profile and put it in there, but there's nothing under
No,
personal profile where you
okay,
can put that information.
let me get this checked for you very,
Okay.
very fast.
Okay.
Mr.
Another
Keshe,
thing,
Mr. Keshe, with the money transfer, there is information about the bank is right there, but she has to go when it says donate. When it comes, the bank information comes. So all you need to do, take a picture of that information on there, go to your bank, and then with that information you can transfer the wire. Once you transfer that,
Oh, you
that
don't need to
establishes-
do that. You can do it online. You don't need
but
to.
where
Okay,
do I
okay.
send the picture?
Okay, do
That's
it
the
online.
question.
Yeah, let me speak to IT after this and let me see what comes up, because the IT team works. So I know they're working on a lot of things in the background with this process.
Yeah, another thing I was going to offer was to do some corrections on the text, like in the store. There's some errors in there, and like
Yeah,
German.
please do. Please do.
Where do I send it?
Send it to info@keshe.foundation.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a title of, even with your payments, send an information to info@keshe.foundation. This email is monitored on a daily basis or couple of day basis, and we keep a very close tab on it.
Okay, good.
Send it
Because
there. I know.
before, I sent one before and it took 2 years to get an answer. So,
Oh, that was the past. That was those.
okay, wonderful.
No,
Thank you so
now,
much.
yeah. We are on the verge of a lot of developments. There's a lot of work getting done, and we are very open about it. We got battered and beaten by millions of dollars in past 3-4 years, which we invested from the investment to bring back the development, and we got robbed left, right, and center. And it was well planned by the people who were with us. Now we have brought that to a lot of control. We have increased the number of the employees in Linz to about 25, I think now. And it'll expand to about 100 in next few weeks.
Thank you.
We have now, Keshe Foundation is literally changed in past 18 months. Now we have we employ, I think, about 25 now, and we are on the list to employ more people as the expansion is going in. And a lot of past problems is getting sorted. We are looking for good IT people who we can put on position, and it's getting sorted. It's the biggest problem we had. We had to draw a line in research and development and say, okay, this is it, we are not developing anymore. We finish the systems and then again go on another leap of jump of development. As you've seen, as I said before, if you look at the enhancement unit, you see big bulky units, each one I think about 1.5 kilo. Now in 2 years of research, you could have 10 machines and then upgraded We went for a total upgrade without delivering, and now the same job, 1,000 times more powerful, is done by less than 50 grand. It's a revolution in technology, and this thing takes time. And now we have a production line, we have assembly lines, and a lot of other things. We brought in a lot of good people, and it's just growth and teething. But now we brought a lot of things under control. If you want anything, send it to info, and then it gets sent to the people who are responsible to answer you, or if it needs to be sorted. Info
Wonderful.
at Keshe.Foundation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Even send a copy of your payment to info at Keshe Foundation. So I made this payment to this account, and that's it. They can follow it. And if you want to sponsor somebody else from another race, we'll find them in Austria. You tell us you want an Iranian to sponsor, you want to find Chinese to sponsor. There are many knowledge seekers in different races in Austria. We can ask them to join us in. And they, in a way, you adopt a child in Africa, you adopt somebody to go through the process in what they call it, in development and understanding. Any other question?
If I may, so regardless of if we get not chosen for the first day, we were planning, and if it becomes.
Let me explain to you. I can't pronounce you. How do you spell your surname? Gedik?
Gedik, yes, Gedik.
Mr. Gedik, I personally have asked you three to become as part of the first day. You should be in Linz on Monday the 6th.
Yes, sir, of course. I hope so.
We have, if you have made your payment and it's there, because we don't see it till tomorrow when the bank's open. I personally went through the list, and they told me you booked once for yourself and once for a sister and a brother or something. I said, we need this because we want to see what's the connection between brother and sister. How you feel. You come from the same strand of genes. So you're quite welcome. You've been, I personally intervened in your case and two other people. So you don't need to worry. We give you what time which one of you can come in, or maybe we can put you and your sister at the same time through separate and then back together through the same double system.
You know better. I was going to say we're open to do everything that you see fit. And
I'm there personally for the first few days, and then we go through the next step and see what we do. But you personally, you and your sister, I thought it was another person, your brother. If I didn't remember.
I said a brother, and I said my sister, but I guess maybe I shouldn't have written that way. But
yeah, so that's why I chose you to come in. You're 100% in for the first day.
I see. It's an honor beyond what I can express. And my second small question was, maybe you've heard, but recently I've been elected at my school as something what we call the Universal Student Council.
You are the Turkish guy.
Yes. Yes.
I met you. Oh, I forgot your name. I met you with the new Universal Council member for the Dutch. What's his name?
Is it Dennis?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
He's applied and is an accepted Universal Council member. He'll join the council in the next couple of weeks.
Beautiful.
You are. That's fantastic. We'll see you on what do you call it on 6th.
Yes. And I can bring an Instagram account with me.
Pardon?
I can bring my school's Instagram account with me, or should I make that later?
What do you mean?
Well, my school has an Instagram account, and I was gonna ask if I could take over that account on that day, because I applied as the Universal Student Council on the website. So as part of my school as well. To,
That you have to discuss with the Keshe Foundation. Did you apply to become the Universal Council for Turkish language?
well, I was born in the Netherlands, where we have Dutch and English as the languages. So I cannot become Turkish Universal Council, but maybe
If,
what you told me about the
do
Dutch-Turkish one.
do you speak Turkish? You speak Turkish.
Yes, yes.
I explained to you, you can become the Universal Council for, because you asked, you want to do it as a student, you don't need to do it as an apply for it, because I know I spoke with the Keshe Foundation regarding your case, and you don't need to go as a student. You can apply for the Turkish language in the Universal Council for Netherlands or outside. The way Stefania is doing it, she lives in England, but she brings the Italians from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply for it, because I know the Turkish position has been vacated, so you should have no problem with it. But I don't know if they have more applications from Turkey or Turkish language and which country. We'll see you on Monday.
Yes.
And that'll be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Now I know who you are.
Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you
very much. I spend a lot of time talking to different members of the Keshe Foundation around the world, more or less every day. And it's just is not a 9-to-5 job, it's 24 hours job. And we meet with different groups and different people in what is needed to be done for the foundation in different structures and cultures. Any other question? Azar, have you applied to be here?
No, Mr. Keshe, not yet.
You're still in Mexico.
No, I'm not in Mexico, but do you want me to be there?
No, I don't ask anyone to do anything, because I know usually you
No,
jump.
because I just came from Mexico, and then I have to work because then there's not going to be any money.
I understand. No problem.
Because if I was just like, I mean, I was working and they didn't go to Mexico, probably I would have been there Sunday, this on Monday.
Oh, no problem. That's perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Are there any questions? Any other question?
Yes, Mr. Keshe. Earlier today, we were talking about all the logistics and the plane and the testing and so on. And had suggested maybe we should sponsor someone. That's an option. And when you just mentioned that about sponsoring someone, and that's important too, I was seeing the picture of a captain on a ship, and the ship is in distress. And the captain makes sure that all the others get to safety first before he actually maybe exits the ship, even though eventually. Go ahead.
I said, unless you're a Greek captain, you jump out first before the passengers.
So I was thinking of eventually I'll get there, or it'll come to me, or if I could just appear in Linz, that would be great. But I think sponsoring someone maybe from somewhere where they probably would never get the funds to get there would be just as important. And I think you've confirmed that.
We have to collect the data in the totality of the knowledge of these systems don't have any computer built in them that they can remember or data control. When you come into the system, you see it's actually a flight system. It's a working flight system. You don't see any control. But once you sit in, as I said, once you touch something, you create a link with. Once you sit in and connect to the system, the information of what you carry will become part of the system. The next person adds to it their information. When you put a magnet on the table, doesn't matter how many other magnets you put in it, it will make a connection and remember where the line has been to connect to who to where. It's the way the universe carries its memory bank. We replicated it. So we need to bring as many as possible. It'll be very interesting when I see the first entity from out of this planet who will go into the system and we see their true face. It'll be an amazing experience to see the other passengers of the universe with us.
Or bring them back, as you said, if they can.
They are with us. Maybe we'll get back, but they are with us. I'm sure some of them don't even know themselves. They've been here such a long time.
What about these 3 chair progress, where you said you start off in the chair of physicality, you move to the chair of the...
It's like you go, you know, when you go diving, you go through the compression chamber and the rest of it. It's the same system. We have to prepare the body for for being able to handle what is going into for.
So it's not that you're changing chairs, you're changing whatever fields.
No. You have to wait 1 second. You have to wait 1 second. Just give me a second.
Yeah, take your time, no problem. We're learning more and more patience. As you've been very patient on this planet for thousands of years.
I'm going to show you what you go into. The system all look the same. It's not something different. But the structure, the built-in is different. This is strange. When you want it, you don't find it. Just let me see, where is he?
I see John has just joined us.
Hi, John. Let me see.
It was interesting. Alex has been working with these chairs and changing position of chairs, and he must have had an insider. His soul had some sort of insight with these moving chairs, but it's been brought up.
No, you're not moving chairs. You are not moving chairs. You're not moving chairs. Just give me a chance. Maybe I've gone too far. I'm looking for something which I have on my picture page. I have to find it. You've seen it before, but I want to explain to you. We have set up six of these units. We call them unit 1, unit 2, unit 3. each one looks the same from outside, but constructionally inside they're totally different. They're not the same. And each internal construction is set up for a given purpose. And
Are you trying to share a picture with us?
yes, I'm getting too old or blind. I can't see the picture I'm looking for. I'm going up and down. We don't want to share something which we don't want to go public with. That's one of the problem. Let me see. Yes, you have this one. You've seen this one. I'm going to share with you. What was? I missed it. I came back to it. We put 3 of these units on either side, entry and exit from what I call a flight system. The structure inside is totally different. And one is built to handle the dimension of physical life, the energies which are in physicality. Number 2 is set up to handle what we call the soul of the physicality. Number 3 is built to handle the soul of the man, which is a cosmic rays, which is a very advanced structure in what we call cosmic rays. And we take you through this process of going through you can see this picture.
We're just waiting for it. Yes.
You see this unit? It's a vision unit.
Yes.
These vision units are set in a specific way. And you have number 1, number 2, number 3. Each one carries a seat. You sit under it. One is set to handle the physicality. When you find a balance in physicality, we give you time. There's no 2 minutes. Then you go to second seat till you find the time. Then you move to the third seat, which is for the soul of the man. In a way, we prepare all 3 that are in a working balance condition. And then you move into flight number 1 system, then flight number 2 system. And then when you come back out, you go to another set of 3 like this, but they are set on the other side, which you enter, because now you're coming from a condition of the what we call expansion of the soul, as you call it. You go into the soul system first, and then when you feel settled, you move into the chair with a soul of physicality. Then the last one is the physicality of the man energy. Then you come back to the condition as a man.
Is this part of the processing time, or is this something independent of the processing time?
No. It's part of the processing time. It's part of preparation. We cannot send you directly into the big systems. It's mayhem. This process takes 5 or 10 minutes. Depends on how people, find themselves. We built this system to go to Arizona, and with the situation we sit at the moment, in the limbo with negotiations. I told John we kept it, it's kept with us. So it's a building for us. We're using the systems which are Arizona systems. And what do you call it? Another 30 odd is in the process of getting manufactured and built to go to Arizona. And when you go into the flight systems are in totally two different settings. We want to know which setting fits, more appropriate for which job, which setting. One setting is set for the physical takeoff, in a way a physical flight, one set up for the expansion of the soul. We want to know how people will respond to which one is more. If you don't want to go to moon and you want to be here, but you want to be able to expand the strength of the soul of the man that you can become, to learn how to handle it, and then the rest of it which comes with it, we put you from then on into one system. If your target is to go to moon, you sit in another system. Everything is set up to go through it.
Very nice. And this is part of the way we're going to attract the attention of the world leaders and others to move away from the games.
On Saturday teaching, you might have heard something, you might have seen something, you might have not understood, but things happen in the background. President Xi of China was present online, and the CPC of China. Chinese military were online. Iranian leadership and Sepah were online. And one of you, somebody sent me a message, why did Iran suddenly today release immediately something about their defense system to distract what is to come? We know the members of the cabinets of the White House have been on it. If you listen to yesterday's teaching, our address, our security informed us, Beijing is online, they're sitting with us. And if you listen to Wang Yi, she says there are many people in. We were informed that the leadership of China is online, and I address His Excellency President Xi of China that we stay loyal to China for the confirmation of our work. We are very political. We know exactly what's happening in the background, that we stay correct. And if you listen to yesterday, I arrested the Iranian leadership because they were online exactly what they cannot. And what did they do today? It's there. I received the confirmation. Iran has suddenly released the new aircraft or whatever they want to show on military base. That they will not use the technology if it wasn't agreed with the Iranian parliament. Things don't happen coincidentally the day after or whatever. We said on the 3rd of December, on the 4th of December, drone was captured. I arrived back in Vienna, met with the Iranian officials at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning of Friday. Friday, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, the Iranian delegation left because of the attempted on my life. And on Saturday, those who planned it were flattened out. It's got to be understood that we work within a framework, and world leaders listen to what is going, because they understand what is to come. If you enter the system and you wish to sit with Putin, you can do so. But would you elevate his soul? That he'll withdraw or stop, or he'll come to another conclusion. That's your problem, not mine. If I sit with him, he will change. But I know the reason they are doing what they are doing. If I hit you, I become a criminal. If you hit yourself, you're crazy, or you enjoy it. And if the Christians try to wipe each other out, it's their problem, how they do it. If we get involved, then we have something else to do with it. We've seen the Islamic world is trying to reach an agreement between Sunni and Shias in Baghdad. We soon will see some sort of agreement will come through the rest of the world, through the Christianity. And there is a reason for it. So let's see how and which one of you, what it does, what you feel, or you don't feel anything. Most probably people who come on the first day, we make arrangement to even they can go through the system twice to see the difference in the first or the second one. But we have to understand, we have to literally see the process. Do they feel the change? Don't they feel the change? When you sit in this enhancement vision enhancing unit, you feel it instantaneously. And then would you allow it to progress to the other parts and to develop the other parts? One of you in this room has been in it. And the emotion is instantaneously. We haven't done anything in the hiding or whatever, but we chose people who we go through the process to develop.
It would be so fantastic to see the government start to sponsor their own populations to go to LINS, or even start to bring the units into their own countries.
We don't need to, but there is a problem. These are prototypes, I call them, even though we are mass producing. The point has to come when we don't need this physicality of this machine. I see it maybe a few months away. Now we have to embed the system inside this. But I see next coming time that we will see a collection of fields building the structure we're looking for. Very much like different part of the brain of the man.
It's like a godsend.
No, it's evolution in science. You see the chair is underneath the unit. When I tell you, you move from one chair to another, that white chair, that's a chair, plastic, is the chair which you sit in when you go through the process. It's a beautifully designed Italian chairs.
I mean,
Mr. Keshe.
I mean, a gift from the creator in so many ways.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. This is Ed. Could you explain to us the benefits of going through the units more than once to sign up for more than one sessions?
It's not a benefit. We want to see what desires you can satisfy.
Well, is there a development
first-
process that you go through?
You go through the same system again as before.
Well, I meant internally, inside yourself.
That
Each
is,
time.
you will tell us, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the first time you want to see what you get out of it, you get nothing out of it. Maybe the second time you go with the sincerity, because you can't lie to your soul and not to the system. You want to see it with Mr. Putin. Or the third time you want to sort out the cancer in such a position in your body. The new units are even different than what you see here. They're designed to interact with the emotion of the body very much. Since we build this unit in front of you to what is you will see in the 6th of June, even the physicality is the same. I mean, it's the same shell. Inside, there's, I can say it's like 200 years of development and researching gone forward. Even in past 6 months since we built the first of these as a prototype, we started. The systems built to go to John, if you say that 3rd generation, now the technologies are the 5th and 6th generation, which is used in the flight systems. We had to draw a line because, as I said to our people, I moved away from the lab totally. Because every time I went in, we added something to it. I said, you know something, we never stop adding and changing and expanding. So I'm moving out till the units are finished. Then I come back in, because otherwise we keep on going. And then now when the units are finished, the next generation we bring out maybe in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, maybe in 3 months, whatever. It'll be again totally different structure. I have to teach as much as our team can understand what it does. Otherwise it becomes a fairy tale job. We have a microphone.
Ed, I'm
Hello,
going to
yes.
close your microphone, Ed. Oh, you have it. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Yes.
It's John from Arizona.
How can I not know your voice? How are you, John?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks.
How are you feeling today? You're
Oh,
okay?
pretty good.
Yes, John.
So the I'll call them joysticks, those little things hanging down.
What is hanging down here? There's nothing hanging down. You're not supposed to give a secret away, John, just because you know it. This system doesn't have those, but now you understand when we say. John more or less is aware of all the developments on daily basis. I try to keep him debriefed. So now you gave the cat away. So carry on.
So will the person that sits in the chair actually hang on to those joysticks and
You have to, yes.
and will he make a turn? You know, he sees something he likes in his travels and makes a turn with the joysticks.
You can do, but you don't. No. I don't understand what you. No. Those two, what you call joysticks, what we call controls, is totally for different purpose.
So you don't move those around to go.
No.
Okay.
I'll explain to you in private what they're for.
Okay.
Okay. John is talking about what I call the 5th generation or 6th generation, because he gets debriefed on a full basis what we are doing. These systems you will see on next Monday carry 2 cables for a specific purpose that the participants have to hold when they enter the system.
Will there be one of the egg units that people will go into inlets, or will these all be the the freestyle ones.
What are you talking about now, John?
The body enhancement units, the egg.
We are not, you're not going into an egg.
So there'll be no eggs there within this system?
No. As I said, the new systems have no physical boundary. It's far more advanced than UFOs. When we give you the enhancement units, the white units, then you have a limitation of the filtering of the fields on the strength of the walls. As I said to you, those enhancement units are like dinosaurs compared to the technology which is used today. It's, as I said, it's evolution in science and technology. We never shown, nobody has ever seen it. And the person who's here, if he wants to disclose what they felt when they went in, I'll leave it to them. How it affects directly. And this is in the, what we call previous generations, the very first generations. Now it has moved on. It's very, very, very sophisticated, very elaborate in trying to match into more or less 7 billion souls. And remember all of it.
Well, I'll disclose that that person he's talking about was me. I went into one of these units. And when I went into the unit, like he was saying, there was this immediate connection. I could feel it in my head, if you will. A sudden burst of, not burst, but a sudden energy field overcame me. Maybe overcame is the wrong word, but I could feel it in my head. Almost, I call it an energy headache, where all of a sudden you feel like you get an energy wave come over you, and it was like a connecting of my soul with the soul of this unit, and it had to find its balance. So as I sat there for the first 2 or 3 minutes, there was a balancing of the fields, and all of a sudden this bigger energy wave kind of died down to where it was, I'll say, balanced. The two systems were balanced. My energy field and its energy field became balanced. And at that point, I just kind of sat with it with no expectations or anything, to kind of see how it would interact with me, and what the reactions would be, within my physicality. It was interesting because even after I got out of the unit, I sent the unit my emotion of love and gratitude, and I could feel like the love and gratitude coming back to me. So there was this connection between the unit and me. So it's my thinking that even the people that, use the unit, that they'll be able to connect back with the unit if they desire to, after they leave Lentz, because the connection is established. As long as the unit's on and running, there's that connection that you'll have. So potentially, you know, as we talked about the soul travel, um, you'll be able to travel, you'll be able to utilize soul travel without being in lens if you're ready for it. And maybe Mr. Keshe can talk a little more on that if he wishes.
Now that you disclosed your position, do you remember when you sat in and I stood in front of you, how you felt between your soul and your solar physicality, your heart?
There was it was a little bit like falling in love. Like there was emotionally kind of the fluttering of the heart, you know, that, you know, you feel like like you first fall in love, you know. It's like you're kind of, your heart's racing, and you know, you feel, you know, in love. So it was, so this kind of came, I'll say, 5 minutes after being in the machine. So first you have the balancing, then you have the you know, the emotional connection with the heart. And at first, you know, you're not really ready for it, and it kind of, because it's so powerful. I mean, it's not like a, you know, a kiss on the cheek. It's a overwhelming, you know, emotion of love, you know, that just kind of overwhelms you initially. And then again, you balance, you know, so it's like you start with, you know, the emotions of the, or the energies in the head, and then it moves into the heart, and, you know, the heart, you know, finds its balance point. So it's like you balance the two of them, and then, you know, it's more like you're, I'll say, back to normal, but it's not really normal. It's like you're ready. You know, it's like now you're ready.
And this is what we call the system number 1, which John has been on. Since John was sitting in this, the system for the soul and system for the solar physicality is added on to. It is one of the most powerful systems man will ever know to know himself. John, do you remember the first few seconds when you sat in, what you felt emotionally? I watched you going through it.
So almost right away, you know, you could feel, so I kind of went in with a blank slate. I sat in the chair, and almost emotional immediately, you got this overwhelming feeling of something's happening. In my head, I have this, you know, energy field that was, you know, almost like an energy headache, you know, because it's like initially it was a little bit, you know, it's like you could actually feel a headache in your top of your, you know, like you're coming down with a headache, but then it balanced out pretty quick. So within the first 5 minutes, you went from, actually first 2 minutes, you went from a lot of energy to a balancing of the fields to, you know, moving down into the heart area. So it kind of all happened very quickly. So you sat in a chair, and all of a sudden you got, you know, you got a headache, you know, not a strong headache, but just that it was like you knew that something was going on in your head right away. And then, you know, it balanced out, you know, if you just sat with it and don't, fear that, oh, this is too much. You just sat with it and let it balance. Then it found its space, and then moved into heart. And again, the heart had to find the balance. So it was like balancing one and then balancing the other.
Thank you very much, John. As I said, we work very close with John in development and everything else. And those of you who go through this process very rapidly find out exactly where you want to be, how you want to be, and how you want to change the time and the place and the position. Is there anything else you want to add, John?
No, I kind of, so after the initial 5-10 minutes of balancing, I kind of had my own personal agenda that I was targeting. So even before I sat down in the chair, I had my own desires, and I just kind of, after everything was balanced, kind of focused on sitting in it with the energies of what it is that I wished and desired. So rather than trying to jump into travel right away or other things, it was allow the system to do its work, and then after you feel balanced, then to focus on why you came into the chair, what it is that you wished for. That was my approach. And I don't know that all of my wishes have been fulfilled, but it was a test for me. And I kind of sat and I moved around in the chair a little bit, kind of just see, okay, what does it do now? What does it do? Because, and maybe I'm disclosing too much, but if you turn in the chair sideways, it helps more with the eyes. So potentially, you improve your third eye if you were to move into a sideways position. I tried that also. I don't know that I can claim any results or anything from it, but I just tried it.
Thank you very much. Now, I think everybody knows how real these systems are. And we are just continuously developing. And when we reach the point of the star creation, magnetic field, plasma positioning in these systems, I see it maybe a few weeks, few months away, because our team have to understand it. Then we don't even need the enhancement units.
Can I say something, Mr. Keshe?
Yes.
This is Selena from Georgia. I can explain very good, but I want to explain my experience one day. I have solved trouble a lot of time, but that day was different. I was laying on the bed. I woke up early in the morning, but I'm laying in the bed. Suddenly, I felt I'm inside something, like a spaceship. I don't want to say, but something. So, and I'm trying to lift it up, but I was laying in the bed, but I saw I am standing. There is no chair. I'm standing there and I'm trying to lift it up. And then, but that time was a little bit darker, early in the morning, but I'm seeing very bright day outside. And then I lifted the thing like a third floor, and my body is like I was sleeping at the second floor. So when I woke up, so I'm watching the ceiling fan, and then I close my eye. So when I feel my body is lifted up, so I felt it is, I think it is in the touching the fan. So when I thought my body is touching the fan, then I felt my hip is is little bit, one side is going to the ground, is touching the ground, and then again I lift it, and then again is touch when I thought about the fan, and then one side is going down. And when I moving the ship, I felt it is the.
Would you like to come and test it in the real structure?
I don't know the structure, but I am seeing the.
Oh, you don't? What I'm saying, would you like to come to Linz and see if you can reach that point?
I'm a housewife, you know. Why?
No, what we are trying to do here is trying to explain that. Sorry, if you can close your microphone, please. What we're trying to explain is for man to understand that he can expand the soul of the man, the fields of his own existence, we call the soul, beyond the boundary of the physical life, even though we still see with the dimension of physicality within the physical body. I speak about this in a very different way sometimes. It's like being in a submarine. When a submarine is out on the surface of the water, we stand on the deck and we see with the eye. When we submerge the submarine in the water, we become, it's like a physicality being submerged in the soul. We extend the soul, that the physicality goes inside. Then we take out the telescopes, or what they call it, there's a name for it in naval bases.
Periscope.
Periscope, yeah. And we take the periscope and we look out again to see what's happening outside the surface. This is what's going to happen to what we try to do in this technology. Yeah, that's submarine, but the water is inside. But now once you go in, the water takes over and you want to still see what's happening in the dimension of physicality, or you create the sonic waves and see, feel what is going on, what you could imagine be outside. Is the extension and expansion of the fields. And that's the beauty of it.
Should I explain a little bit more?
No, please, because we are here for a different purpose, if you don't mind. The whole purpose is, please find your way to Linz, because we need to collect as much data as much as possible, or sponsor someone. We try to gather the data as fast as possible, that our flight systems sit within the structure that we can fly the soul, or we can extend the soul. The soul decides in the interaction with others, And then when the soul does, the concrete, the basement, the building has no limitation because it works in different dimension. Or in another system, flying system, say where it lands. If you take our system, we'll bring you back to it. We need to bring it back. But has the capability, is a dual capability. And we would like you to be there and bring as many people as possible, that we connect with all the souls of the mankind and with any kind of being on this planet. And I'm sure 100% we will see creatures of the universe with us. And we can extend the knowledge and we bring it in. And when we tell you we've done a lot of work, a lot of knowledge seekers are working with us in the background in a very quiet way, as you heard now John disclosed. He came all the way from the United States to here to test, to be in it. And we have done the same with many, many knowledge seekers. It is our job to share the knowledge freely and to everyone. And how it'll evolve and develop is on the knowledge seekers. And how, what you bring with it. How the members of Universal Council will bring this knowledge to be shared amongst the man and beyond. Up to now, as members of Universal Council, we always looked that you'll be in touch with the others from in the Universal community to get something. Now you have realized you become to give something, because the crown of the knowledge of the creation has been given to the man as of now. You will understand what I have given you to as a knowledge. There is no material in the world which can pay for such a beautiful knowledge. It's just, I hope mankind uses it wisely for peace and creation of peace on this planet and the rest of the universe. Thank you very much. I have to get ready. I've got to go to the Brazilian team. And hopefully we'll be able to carry more knowledge when we are together. If there's any question, I'll try to answer very quickly.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. This is Nikolai. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for today. This is gorgeous. I have one question, and it is, are these systems creating essentially a library of the human? And my question is, in regard to the beings that have implants in the body, metal and so on, will there be a point when the system has acquired enough knowledge in its library that it can also accommodate those beings who have had implants and understand the difference?
I understand what you're talking about, but you have to understand we should have no limitation in materials or no materials. It's just to be protective, just to not to create anything which can go wrong. Because the implants is the interaction of the two totally different materials, the bone and the metal, and the bone, if it expands or the metal expands, can create havoc. That's all.
Yeah, thank you very much. I understand. My question was only related to myself in this regard. I have 2 shoulder surgeries, and in the time that I had the 2 shoulder surgeries is when I found Keshe Foundation, when I was sitting on the couch for 2 years watching videos. So for me, it's a funny,
This is the
funny moment.
Titanium. Is it titanium joints?
I believe so. Titanium little pins, and they stretched the
Oh.
labrum back onto.
It's not a full shoulder titanium replacement.
No, just small little anchor points.
No, I don't think there'll be any problem.
Beautiful.
We
Well,
hope not.
I look forward to. I'm in Arizona now, so I would be very happy to look forward to seeing these units arrive in United States and with John.
Wish that your leaders come to their senses, or somebody in these machines have to do that.
Very well. I will put the wish in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for letting me be here. And hopefully we meet again soon in teachings and others. Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.